already. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the YouTube channel and see if I can double hear myself. I doing that thing where it says upcoming. Well, hurry up and come on. It's going live already. Okay, there we go. Go to Okay, yeah, it's still doing it. So I'm gonna try audio input capture because both of them are doing it. So let's check now. It's going live already. Okay, there we go. Go to Okay, yeah, it's still doing it. So I'm gonna try audio input capture because both of them are doing it. So let's check now. Hello.
You
It's going live
said we
already.
are streaming currently?
Yeah, and also I think I figured it out. So I had I guess when I set up OBS, if I don't, which happens like literally 99.9% of the time, if I don't remember to mute certain things, then everything like the webcam and everything else just starts recording for no reason. So I basically I have it so now only my headset is recording or streaming or whatever. All right.
As I predicted.
That was really loud. I don't know if that's you on your end or my end. Okay, so we're gonna have to go down the list. Hold on, I'm hearing static. Let me log out and come back. Alright, so we're gonna have to go down the list of players so we can get everybody's audio situated on my end. I, generally speaking, unless I forget, it's somewhere between
Hello.
Okay, that's really loud. It's somewhere between 60 and 80%. I never have it at 100. So if I ask you, can you lower it or increase it? That's why. I'm going to lower Mac's voice.
I don't know.
Yes.
Whoa.
Or why.
Hello, Nostra.
But
Oh my
He's
god.
recording.
So
Oh, that is a
loud.
loud voice. I need to turn
What
it
the
down on my end
hell?
too.
oh
Why is it so I don't understand. Maybe it's on.
oh
Try not to like yell or make really loud exclamations or laughter.
I mean I
But how are you
like
doing?
say the statement of there is a cat on my computer. No, really, there's literally a cat on my computer. You want to see the cat?
I'm good.
Oh wait, I can't show off my cat. Fuck.
All right, so yeah.
Okay, I mean we're going in. Like I don't know.
All right, so
This is live, so
yeah,
if you
so
want the whole world to see the cat.
Meow.
all right. So far, okay. Moved your volume down a little bit.
Oh my
Edgeford,
cat.
how are you doing? Can you say something so I can?
This is a test sentence. This
Okay.
is a test sentence.
You're the only one who's ever always perfect with your audio. I don't know why.
Haha.
Honestly,
Hello.
I think it's also partly just because of my settings on my end are always like different. Like sometimes it's 80%, sometimes it's 70%. But all right. So I know Mac has to go down. Well, Max is at 10% on my end because Jesus Christ, you were loud. I don't know why. I don't know if it's you or me, but Nostra's a cat all of a sudden. But I put Nostra down to 40%, so she's
Oh
good.
really? No, it's just my cats. I mean, I have two cats, and one of them's very, very noisy.
Oh, okay. I thought
I
it was
get
you
that.
pretending to be a cat. Uh,
I have two cats.
all right.
And as I said, there is a cat literally sitting on my computer.
Sounds like fun. Um, Tali, can you say something so I can get your voice in? I've already got Master Creebles.
Howdy. This is my test.
All right.
Test, test.
Sounds good.
Hello, hello.
Beep beep.
All right. So as long as I've got static again, I'll be right back. Okay.
I swear he gets a little static.
Well, it used to happen like with certain people, and I could never figure out why, and now it just happens all the time. I guess it's some gilded bug or something. But anyway, so what happened, Nostra, with your like trip to the airport? Did you not have to go or something?
I didn't have to go, it's just I just need to drop her off.
So you're already back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are continuing where we left off. Um, as I said in the messages, we're going to start with the Legion, but before we get too far, well, first of all, let me get back over on here and start that. I'm going to actually read the ship's physician's log because I forgot I didn't do it last time, and I was wondering, like,
Oopsie doopsies.
yeah, I was like, I need to get a bunch of information across, but I want to do it over roleplay, and it never happens, so I'll just do it over the ship's physician's log. Alright, ship's physician's log. It appears the flash of white light that the Legion collectively experienced has only had a lasting effect on Lieutenants Zhukov and Carr. They are both currently undergoing a medical exam in my sickbay. Lieutenant Joel Armstrong's recovery is going well. Then again, it's near impossible to discern if a Starfleet Marine isn't doing well. Travers Zed's recent transformation has gotten the attention of the Daystrom Institute. He'll be going there for research purposes after our current mission. With Lieutenant Wren deceased and Lieutenant Peck attending medical school, it's up to me to ensure the health of the Legion's crew. And that is where we will start. So, on the bridge, move you guys to the bridge. That is where, you're not there. Oh yeah, this is the fake bridge, that's right. So, I'm gonna make it the real bridge by removing all these unnecessary NPCs and putting in people that actually should be there. Lasco, is Lasco on the bridge or is he somewhere else? You there, Matt?
He's watching over the other ship,
What other ship?
unless he's been ordered back.
Assuming that
the
assuming that the dreadnought is still in tow, Zed's probably on the dreadnought, keeping an eye on that.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to make sure. So then, Tali, is Lieutenant Nealon on the bridge or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm on the bridge.
Alright, so I don't need to... Ah, there's a static again. I'll be right back. Alright, so, and you know, it's funny because it also, like, if the person who quote-unquote caused the static leaves and comes back, it fixes it too. So I guess it just doesn't matter who leaves. As long as someone disconnects and comes back, it'll fix it. Interesting. Let me move Tali's token to the bridge. Running scans, I assume. In fact, if you want to go ahead and make just a reason and science roll, I'll say it's a scaled difficulty, 1 to 5. But if you get 1 success, then you get some information. And this is a general scan, so like this will give you like, you know, a bunch of information in like your immediate vicinity, depending on, you know, how many successes you get.
All right.
If someone wants to roll for the ship, it'll be sensors and science, difficulty 1.
Oh,
All right. I've got 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So if whoever wants to roll for the ship, meanwhile I'm
I'll roll for the ship.
okay.
So sensors.
Yep, sensor science. I am just moving various NPCs to their locations.
Oh.
Nice. So that's a total of 4 successes. You get a lot of information in that case. So the ship that you're currently towing seems to be in the same state it has been for the last, you know, however long. Basically, without power. There doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary going on at the moment. In the immediate vicinity, you do detect, well, you don't detect it, but you know it's there. You can detect the RRW Evumo, which is a Romulan warbird that's kind of off your starboard bow as like an escort. You know it's there just because you know it's there. So like you know how to look for the signs basically. You also probably have like their transponder code, so you can like verify they're there. But also. Just in the general vicinity, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on. However, at the far outside of your scanning range, like like uh, uh, like whatever the extremity of the long range scan is, you are detecting three vessels that are not Starfleet. You do not know anything else about them, but they are coming in your general direction. Two of them are actually together, like clearly like a small squadron, and then one of them is like way away from them, probably doesn't even know that they're there. And if you also a science officer, you can ask a free question if you want.
Um, since it's way out there, would I know the location that they're are there like the location of them coming in?
Um, so the two that are coming like together are actually, you know what? Let me move you guys to the Shackleton, whatchamacallit, and also let me disconnect real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so you guys are here-ish, as you can see, um, and the dreadnought, obviously, that you guys are towing was there, and then now is here or was here. You guys are in basically in kind of in sector G, or section, I'll call it G15, um, and also the Romulan Warbird is. I will say that the two ships are coming from roughly A15, but they're not in AA15. They're like, you know, take this square and multiply it by like 20. That's how far away they are. Depending on what kind of ships they are, they may have detected you, they may have not. You know that certain species, but also certain types of ships just don't have as good sensors as other ships. So it's hard to tell if they've detected you or not. The other ship is coming from, interestingly enough, more or less the opposite direction. If you scroll down, like literally go south, it is probably, I would say, down here, PP12. It is very much closer to you than the other ships. This ship, unless it's a rickety old frigate, it has probably, at the very least, sensed that there is a ship near the wormhole, if it's looking for the wormhole. Like I said, they're coming in your general direction. You don't know yet if their course is the wormhole, but if um, you could probably make a guess that if they are not coming for the wormhole, then at the very least they're coming to your sector, and then they're to explore, to look for something else equally as interesting. But I'll
So not on a intercept course then.
I mean, if it is on an intercept course, they went out of their way to kind of plan it to where they're coming in from like different flanking maneuvers, but like it would be more trouble than it's worth to basically have them split up and come around on those different sides. Like I said, more than likely they don't know about each other. They're if they are part of the same faction, but all that is really up to the captain to decide.
Right. Captain, we have some ships on the outer fringes of our sensors right now. Can't determine if they are friendly or foe. What's the best course of action, sir?
At current speed and heading, how long until they reach our location?
If you want to spend a momentum, I'll give you that. Because like I said,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Like I said, they're because of their distance. I mean, you can't even tell how fast they're going unless you like double check your sensor readout. And it looks like they'll probably be in your little section, which is called G15, within probably an hour and a half. And that's the ones that are up north. Clearly farther away. The ones that are coming from the one ship coming from the south will be there probably in about 45 minutes.
Okay. And question for the GM: judging by how far away they are we going to be able to, get over the line into Federation, more claimed territory
You
before they
can,
get to us?
if that's what you want to do. That is definitely, in fact, if you have like a certain amount of time that you can do that before they for sure detect you. If you do it now, if you leave now, they won't even know that you're there. Most likely, even if they do know that somebody's there, they won't be able to detect, your species or anything like that, like what kind of ship it is, and they'll basically be left in the dark. If you delay, it will increase the odds of them figuring out who you are.
Okay. Well, since we have possibly the most single important piece of salvage operation we could possibly be doing, Osprey's one mission at the moment is get the Dreadnought back to a Federation base where it can be studied.
Okay.
So that's the only thing he cares about. As a result of which, he'll give the following orders. Helm, make a minor adjustment to heading. Sensors, check the behavior of the new sensor contacts to see if they adjust to compensate for our new heading. Overall, our course is still to cross the border into Federation space and make for a Federation dock as soon as is practicable.
All right. So Helm says, "Aye, sir," and goes about his business, setting. And do you want him just to run the numbers, or do you want him to actually set the course and engage?
Oh yeah, like set the course and engage. The point of this is if the ships we've just detected adjust their heading to compensate for what we're doing, it means they're
Gotcha.
following us.
Yep, absolutely. You will also notice that, and this may be a coincidence, a lot of things are, that the course that the Dreadnought took that you are currently towing is almost verbatim the course that they would be following if they're related in some way. Like this line here
Right.
of radiation goes basically all the way up to where they're located at the moment. They could just be following the radiation, the ion trail.
Okay. Osprey suspects there are more ships belonging to the Infamous heading to the wormhole to do their wormholey things, which is unfortunate, but that's all the more reason for them not to find us while we've got a captured Dreadnought.
Okay. So that as you turn away and fly away, I'm gonna say probably less than 5 minutes later, you get a call from Dr. Damal. He says, "Sick Bay to bridge. The evaluation of Lieutenants Carr and Zukov is complete. Physically, they are themselves, but it seems that their memory engrams and their consciousness have been swapped with, well, other neural patterns. What are your orders, Captain?"
Okay, like out of character, I apologise as if this is going to sound harsh, but we've got swapped neural engrams whilst we're mucking about with the Infamous.
Right.
No. So his order will be Captain Osprey to medical, have them detained and put under a security watch until we can determine something further.
Yes, sir. They're already behind a quarantine field.
Very good. What is your leading theory on the swapping of the memory engrams?
Well, I'd be a fool not to think that it had something to do with that white flash we experienced earlier, and Commander Zed mentioned in his report something about an audio, the adjective version of that of the audio being resonating on the Dreadnought. I'm assuming that's why it affected Zukov the way it did, or was it Carr? No, it was Carr. Carr was on that mission, if I remember correctly. So I think they're the same thing, relatively. I don't know where their actual consciousnesses have gone, but I know that the consciousnesses within these, within their bodies, is not them. And in fact, they haven't answered any questions, not even medical questions that I put to them once it was determined that they weren't who they claimed to be.
Do you believe there is a risk that they may be activated to cause violence or in some other way respond to remote commands?
Oh, absolutely, activation is possible. However, at the moment, they seem to be content with just sitting there peacefully. I'm not a security-minded person. I'm a doctor, but it's almost as if they've been put in standby mode to await further orders.
Osprey will nod. And so your physical examination stated that they were all normal. Has there been any alterations, no matter how subtle, that might suggest Dren-style genetic alterations?
Well, that's the thing. I was going into this once I figured out, what had happened to them. I was going into this kind of expecting to find that, but it looks like these individual, at least like I said before, their physical bodies are the original versions of them. I don't know if there are clones of them out there somewhere, or if there is genetic alterations done that I can't tell, but for all intents and purposes, their bodies are fine.
Osprey will nod, not that this person can see that, and will continue. In your analysis of their memory patterns and brainwave functions, is there? Please make a comparison against known psychic, telekinetic, or other species that may have mental powers. I want to be sure that there is no mental abilities they may have been granted that they could weaponize or use in an unexpected fashion.
Understood, sir.
And maintain a security team around them at all times, and have a contingency plan to sedate or stun them at a moment's notice.
Absolutely, Captain.
Very good. Contact me again when you have an update on your report. Osprey out.
Meanwhile. Alright, so. Hey, get rid of that.
A fucking pool water in the eyes.
Yep. Someone's ready to break out.
So you guys have kind of been already, you got the pool water in the eyes, you got the wires and the hoses kind of wrapped around you, sticking out of various parts of your bodies. However, the pods themselves have opened and you've kind of fallen. Gravity has kind of taken over and you've kind of, you're leaning forward.
Damn it, I was about to violently break out.
I mean, you still can. Give me one. Let me finish describing what happens. So you're kind of leaning forward, and you're only really being held there in the pods by the cables and the hoses that are like wrapped around you and attached to you. You can also. I will explain exactly what you see. So before you make any decisions. So actually, you know what? Because you are kind of discombobulated with all the fluids and everything, go ahead and make an insight security check, difficulty 2. Oh, and use your clone character sheets. You have, it says Kar and Zukov clones, the folder. Each of you have character sheets specifically for these two individuals that you are currently inhabiting.
Oh.
Was that just Zukov making that check?
No, both of you. This is just a general perception check.
Didn't give us the red.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Wow. That is, like, nothing short of amazing. Alright. So yeah, I mean, that pool water is really getting to you. You're rubbing your eyes, you're trying to look around, you're tugging on these hoses and like, what the hell is this? You know there's people down there. You hear people talking, even though all that fluid is in your ear. Like, you can clearly hear muffled voices in the distance talking about, like, the experiment failed. Great, this is another batch that we're going to have to discard into space. And then after a few moments of this, you hear a voice, and it's not it's not recognizable in the sense of, like, you know who it is, but you definitely know it's somebody who's in charge of whatever's going on here, and he says, reactivate the genetic sequencers. We have to get them back in. And then you hear another scientist say, yes, Dr. Perez, of course. And you can feel the hoses and the cables that are connected to your flesh kind of try to pull you back in. If you guys want to make that heroic leap out, this is the time to do it. It is definitely going to be, I'll say, daring, and remember to use your clone character sheets. It's going to be daring or control and security. In fact, if Carr wants to use engineering, I'll allow it, because it's technically a lot of engineering stuff that's...
Fucking pool water!
Oh, wow. Alright, yeah, so I'll say you guys collectively... Actually, you know what? But technically, you guys are in a different faction. I am going to give each of you a momentum on your specific character sheet. You also start out with 2 determination, just so you know. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
so each of you have a momentum. Um, and yeah, you basically rip these things out and like you definitely are going to fall, and it's like 15, 20 feet to the bottom. But as you begin to like, as it begins to loosen and you begin to fall forward, a large metallic thing walks up to you, and you both your pods are like right next to each other basically. So it just reaches up with its large arms, and this thing is probably like 15 foot tall, so it could definitely reach you, and it just reaches up and like presses its hands up against your chests, and you hear a mechanical voice say, "Do not resist, remain in your chambers, this is only a test." What do you do?
Иди нахуй.
Did the test pass?
Do you ask him that?
Yeah.
He said,
I'll ask that.
the robot says, test failed, running simulation once more. And then you feel his strong hands push you back in, and something connects to the back of your neck. And for a brief second, you can feel like you're back on the Legion, and you can even see like, even your eyes are no longer full of water, but you can see in front of you like almost like a translucent holographic kind of image, and it basically it looks like credits rolling, and you see like very weird like stylized artwork of your characters doing heroic poses, and then you see at the bottom it says "to be continued," and then it's gone. And as you guys are like removing the last bits of all this crap out of you, Dr. Perez runs over and says, "Oh, you bloody brute, get back," and kind of orders the robot away from you guys. He said, and Dr. Perez says, hold on, stay, just calm down. We'll fix this. We'll don't worry about it." And he goes to like some random console. Go ahead and make an insight security check again, difficulty 1. I'm gonna say now that you guys are less discombobulated. All right. So Dr. Perez is clearly a Dren clone. He's got a blue and gold military uniform. Although it's more, you can tell that just based on like the tools around his waist, scanning devices, etc. He doesn't seem to have any weapons. He's probably more of the scientific mind of the area. Plus, someone called him Dr. Perez. You can also see, obviously, the robot that tried to contain you. You see another Dread clone just kind of chained up to a wall along the side and kind of just shivering over with like he's clearly got blood gushing out of his some wounds on his chest. He's huddled over there shivering and just looking around with like big eyes, just like he looks like he's trying to like, it looks like he's finished trying to break free, and now he's to the point where he's just terrified and just wants to die basically. And you also see your friendly neighborhood Night Stalker standing there extremely still, just observing everything. Is there anything and that's all you see at the current moment. Is there anything that you guys want to do or say to Dr. Perez?
Hang on a second. Okay, I guess I thought that car was like being pushed back into simulation at this point.
You were for a second, but then as you're struggling, you wrenched yourself free. So you're currently like pretty much all of the wires and cables and hoses that were connecting you are more or less free. And they've stopped trying to force you back in, and now Dr. Perez is trying to convince you to like stay inside. So you could still you could jump out, but it's still like a 15-20 foot drop. So it's up to you like how you want to get out.
I have a very simple question.
Sure.
Do I have that weird minute pain in my head?
You do not.
It was at this moment Dr. Perez knew he fucked up.
Yeah, no.
I'm fucking yeeting myself!
Alright, so you jump out?
Yep.
Are you jumping on
Because,
Dr. Perez, or are you just jumping out?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a distance is it to from here onto that big guy over there?
15 foot tall.
Yeah,
thing?
he's pretty tall, so he
Well,
was
starters, jump on him and then jump on him.
okay, but he was ordered backwards a bit, so like currently he's probably still closer to you because at the moment he's backed up and kind of standing guard, so he's no longer right under you. He is, like I said, probably from you to his head is probably like 10 feet, so you could definitely jump on him easier than him, who's moved probably like 20 feet away at this point. So if you want to do that, you could definitely do that. It'll be daring and fit or daring security. You know what? I'll say daring or fitness security, either one. But I think you have applied force at this point, so I think you can use fitness either way.
Yeah.
And it'll be opposed, obviously. So the difficulty will just determine on that.
Deal.
Yeah. Let me see. Where's my character sheet?
Hand-to-hand combat focus.
Luckily, he's a scientist. He's not extremely daring.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, wow. Did you use a momentum or give me a threat?
I've got the momentum if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I use my momentum.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'll get the momentum back anyway, so...
Oh, yeah. I just want to make sure because I'm trying to calculate it. So you got 5 successes. He got 2. So that's 3 momentum, but you used 1. So you get 2 momentum.
I have 2 momentum.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, you just yeet yourself onto him. And by the way, don't forget that it's different momentum for you guys than for the others. So it's not...
Oh, that's right.
Pooled. But yeah, you jump on him. As soon as you do that, the robot stays where he is, but the Night Stalker leaps forward in like a flash, and he's like right next to you now. And now it is going to be his turn. So he is going to just restrain you. He's not going to do anything else. So he's going to roll daring and security, and he is...
And we're opposing, right?
Yeah, you can oppose daring and security. Or
Well, I am definitely opposing.
All right, I am going to spend 2 threat to get 2 more dice. Ooh, so he got 5 successes and a complication. If you get 5 successes without a complication, I'll just say you win that.
Deal. I'll spend my 2 momentum and hope for the best.
Ooh. He did get a complication though. So he basically has you now by, we'll say, let's see, where would he grab you? You're on the scientist. He's probably going to grab you by the back of the neck. So he's grab you and he just pulls you away from the scientist. And he doesn't speak, of course. He's just holding you at this point. However, because he's got a complication, he's distracted. He looks away as if he's receiving new orders from some other source that you can't tell where it's coming from.
Perfect moment for an elbow to the face.
Yep, after Car goes. All right, Car, you're up.
Car's also breaking out.
Okay.
Probably not as glamorously though.
It could be. You
Not
never
as
know.
I mean, you might yeet yourself and vibe check that Night Stalker.
It's true. Actually, some of these clone stats are better than my car. Anyway,
Yeah.
now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I don't remember that kind of fitness for car. So you said that was fitness and security to get out?
Yep.
Oh wait, I can just look at what other people rolled.
It could be fitness or daring. It depends on it's whatever is higher.
Okay.
You also, are you just getting out or are you attacking? If you're attacking,
Probably at the sight of seeing Zukov being restrained, he's probably like, "Well, crap,
Okay. So you can
You've
just
seen your own security officer
probably-
fucking
yeah,
lose it.
yeah. You could
who
just
knows
roll
what the
that.
doctor thinks about us at this point."
Yeah, we could
but,
just roll it into one roll, so it can be daring or fitness security, and that will, we'll say for the sake of
fitness and security.
for the sake of everything, it's. And are you attacking the scientist or the Night Stalker? I'm assuming the Night Stalker. Let's see.
I suppose so.
Okay. I mean, you can attack the scientist, and that'll probably get the Night Stalker's attention if that's the way you want to go.
I guess it's a matter of freeing the. I mean, okay. I guess physically the scientist looks like he's closer, so that's probably going to have to be. That's probably the one the car's going to go for.
That's fine. In fact, I'll just say part of the complication is the scientist is totally unaware of what you're doing. He's looking at the Night Stalker, so he's not even going to resist it. Yeah, you fall onto him essentially, and basically kind of take him down. At that point, once you do that, the Night Stalker looks to Zukov or the Zukov and looks back to Card as if like he's trying to decide what to do, and then he releases Zukov. And instead of attacking Carr, he just kind of steps back towards where the robot is. And that is when the doors open and someone in a very elaborate, ancient, kind of Victorian uniform walks in. Obviously another Dren clone. And he looks around and he says, "What is going on in here? Can't we just have a nice, normal TV show without a bunch of people running around causing mayhem? What do you do? What Dr. Perez, I knew I should not have left you in charge of these people. Jesus Christ. What is... Come here. Carr, if you don't mind getting off my scientist, I'm going to execute him. Please."
Carl will just glance over to Zukov, be like, "Are we really... Do we want to give up this bargaining chip of ours?" If he says he's going
to... It's up to you.
Yes.
It's up to you.
Even if I feel insanely lucid, no, niet. Hold that son of a bitch tight.
Look, you guys can kill him. Do my job for me, but you're not getting off this ship. Unless it's, out in airlock. You're aboard the infamous Dreadnought Primetime, and we broadcast holo programs throughout the infamous Armada. You just happen to have been, in an episode of Space Venture Legion. So, you could go back to that life and it'll all be great. But, yeah, Dr. Perez has just got to pay for his mistakes. I'm sorry. It's just got to happen. So if you don't mind kindly getting the hell off that scientist, that would be appreciated.
That scientist just helped save my life, because your mech was about ready to suffocate me. How would that have worked for your prime time?
I mean, we could have used, another clone, so that's not the problem. And, but, I understand your... Tell you what.
And the pool water?
Yeah, pool water, sure.
What kind of lack of creativity is that?
I mean...
It would drive any man insane with having pool water in your eyes on a constant fucking basis!
Look, we've got plenty of time for questions. I will answer whatever...
Oh god, my cat's meowing.
Whatever questions you want to answer, or whatever... I'll answer whatever you want. But, I need my scientist. I mean, yeah, he's an idiot, but, he is a scientist, and... This may come as a total shock to you, but the infamous Allegiance doesn't have a whole lot of scientists. So if you would just kindly release him so that I can clone him and get a better scientist and then kill him, that'd be great.
Is our scientist going to try and say anything to save his own life? Or is he just
as far
silent
as
this whole time?
If you're like holding him, he appears terrified. He knows no matter what, you or this officer, he is kind of screwed. So he's just too terrified to say anything at the moment. If you want to think about what you want to do, we can jump back to the Legion. Because y'all...
has conflicting values that we're looking over.
Yeah, look at them values.
You could keep him alive long enough for him to actually
Yeah, get us out of
keep
here.
him as a keep him as a bargaining chip alive. Yeah, keep him alive as a bargaining chip.
We'll get back to that, I guess.
All right. So the Legion is heading back towards Federation space. Probably not too far away. Probably like 30 minutes, maybe 40 at the most. You'll definitely get to the border of explored Federation space before that other ship arrives. However, it is getting closer. So if you guys want to get another more in-depth scan This will be because of it getting closer. It'll be a difficulty 3. Um, if you get all 3 successes, then you will not only determine what kind of ship it is and everything like that, but you'll be able to tell if any of the ships detected you, which like I said before, more than likely they won't have because you left immediately, but you never know, maybe one of them has some crazy sensor device on its ship or something.
No harm in scanning. Scan away.
All right, I'm gonna use a momentum.
Okay, so that puts the stone to 3. Yes, momentum.
I got 3 successes.
Nice.
And a 4th success.
All right. Does anyone want to roll for the ship, sensors, and science? Just 1 dice.
I think.
And I think you said 4 successes, so this could be a potential 5th success. Nice, 6 successes. So yeah, I'm gonna give you. Let's see, you're at 3 momentum. So yeah, take 3 momentum. Now you're up to 6 momentum. So I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna take you guys to the map so that you guys can see where you're at. All right. Be right back. Okay. So I'm gonna say you guys have made it to G13 with the other ship in tow. You do detect the ship coming from the south is, as soon as I grab it, where is it? There it is. It is a Herosian frigate, and it does not appear to have noticed you. It probably noticed something, but it definitely doesn't know that you're Federation hauling a infamous dreadnought. It probably just thinks it's another ship coming out of the wormhole, or it's another ship just exploring the area, or it's a frickin' asteroid and we don't know what it is, and we probably don't care. But it is a Herosian ship coming from the south. From the north, you detect 2 larger ships. These are definitely at the very least 2 or 3 times the size of your ship. Definitely dreadnoughts from the infamous Allegiance. And they probably have detected you, but they probably have not detected that you're Federation. However, because you're heading into Federation space, they probably guess that you are. But
Fair enough. Is either one of them putting out a ridiculous amount of broadcast signals?
No, actually, they're not.
Okay, so neither of them are likely the prime time. Yeah, in that case, yeah. By the way, just as like an out-of-character assurance, once our main objective is safe, i.e. we have brought the dreadnought back to a safe location, unless receiving orders to the contrary, I do intend to try to recover the minds of our crew, but we've got to secure the main objective first. So, yeah. Well, Osprey will note all of this, but unless they do anything about him or adjust their course...
Yeah, no,
steady as she goes.
They seem, if they have detected you, they seem to not give a shit. They are heading directly. In fact, you can tell that their course has changed towards the wormhole. So it looks like, and this is not exactly where they are at the moment. They're a lot farther away than that. I just put them on the screen so you can see what they look like. But they are definitely heading towards the wormhole. In fact, you can tell that the frigate is doing that same thing as well, heading towards the wormhole. Its course is...
Osprey will ask a question. Sensors, do you believe that they will be able to detect or intercept communication signals we may send over secure channels back to the Federation?
They may have some sort of technology that would pick it up, but honestly, I don't know, because I've never really worked on any kind of ship like they have.
If you want to spend a momentum...
They may.
Actually, no, because, Tali, you have a free question. So I'll just go ahead and tell you that if it's not, like, super secure, like Code 47, they will detect it.
Okay, alright. Like that. Fair enough. Yeah, but they might not be able to intercept it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, more than likely they just won't
Yeah.
care. Like they're not going to prevent you from sending a message to Starfleet security. More than likely they just will. That would be way too much work for them. But they will listen in just to be like, oh, let's see if they know anything. Other than that, they probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Osprey's gonna err on the side of caution and pretend to ignore them until he's so far away they can't do anything about him. Because if they look in his direction, they might go, hang on, what's he
Yeah.
towing?
Yeah.
Which is, so he wants to be as unnoticed as
Yeah.
possible.
You don't want to send anything until you're further
Yeah.
away, so you don't raise a red flag to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you still just heading into? By the way, just out of curiosity, which base are you heading to? Are you heading all the way back to New Station, or are you heading to one of the closer ones, like G7 or K7 or A11?
So I am. A11 is way too close to the border. That is super easily raidable. So G7 looks like the closest one. I also
yeah,
note that's
backup
where the
there.
Klingons are based. Yeah.
That's always good.
So there's backup there, and it's probably got the docking facilities to do something about the dreadnought.
Yeah. So just that, and you guys' character would also know these supposed quote unquote bases aren't super developed because they're relatively new. Like you'll probably have something akin to like K7 space station or like a ground base, but you're not going to have like the fleet yards or anything like that. You're definitely not going to have like an Earth space dock kind of thing. If you want something like that for the Dreadnought, you would have to go back to Narendra Station.
Yeah, what I'm imagining is going to happen is Osprey's going to hand the dreadnought off.
Yeah,
that's
possible,
and then
yeah.
Someone else will continue it.
All of the comm badges that you see are other Starfleet ships, so you could just be like, "Hey, I want to hand it off to the other Starfleet ship," or you can be like, "I want to hand it off to the Klingon ship so that something can protect it better," or whatever. Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, let me log back out real quick. Oh great, now it's fucking freezing. Fuck, I decided to freeze my frickin' Gilded altogether. Alright, sorry about that. It decided to freeze Gilded altogether. Alright, so your head, I'll just say that you guys are now at G11. And yeah, there's but before I say there's absolutely no chance that they pursue you, let's jump to the Herosian frigate.
Yeah.
So, Captain Huru is in command of this frigate. I need, let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna roll a d20. I was gonna spend a threat, but I would like the idea of you guys just not detecting them at all. And this is because I think you guys have a specific sensors person. I think actually you only have the pilot and Chicker, right? You have the, if I remember correctly, you have two others. Ooh, 17. So yeah, y'all aren't gonna detect the Legion. You're heading in, but you also, I would say, because your fellow faction is here, you do know that the two dreadnoughts are closing in as well. But you'll be able to get to the wormhole way before the other dreadnoughts do, probably like a whole 30 minutes. Yeah, Captain Huru, do you have any orders for your crew or anything that you guys want to do as you're approaching the wormhole?
Yeah, we would like to do continual scans, just to make sure that there's no enemy vessels in by the wormhole.
Okay. Let's see. So your pilot, Q Jr., looks up and says, ETA to Shackleton wormhole, 10 minutes. And he says, I thought I saw something on our navigational sensors. but it probably was just a passing comment.
Yeah, it probably was. And you see Storm just continuing eating.
Well, write it down. Write it down, because you never know. But yes, let's continue on.
Alright, so the Hunter's Edge continues on its mission. And we're going to jump to back on the prime time. Have y'all decided what you guys would like to do next?
We have.
Okay.
I kind of forget though from last time. Was our was the scientist visibly carrying anything? Like I don't think there was a weapon, but just anything like a key card
like
or
he probably has like a dozen devices or tools on a belt around like under his blue coat that you can like see every now and again, you know, when he moves. You definitely know he doesn't have a weapon unless he has like a shiv in his boot or something, but he definitely doesn't have any visible weapons. He had a data pad of some sort when you guys first started trying to get out, but then he like set it down on a console nearby. Other than that, no, he doesn't have anything on him.
Okay. Well, it seems like this guy's a good bargaining chip, so Car's not ready to give him up, but if possible, I would like to use some momentum to say that Carr has at least tried to grab something from this guy.
Okay.
As he presumably stands up with this scientist as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you have some kind. All you know is it's some sort of scanner. It's very small. It's like a round, like it's the size of a mouse, like a mouse that you use on a computer, not a mouse that runs away from cats. I mean, I guess they're both the same size technically, but yeah. So it's about that size. It's perfectly round, almost like a kind of like a disc shape, but there's obviously like a display on it. Like when you hold it up, as you take it from him and you hold it up behind him, like near his back, it basically tells you everything you want to know about his genetics and like his biology and his health and everything. Like if this puts Federation medical scanners to shame. This tells you that he scraped his knee when he was first got out of his cloning chamber, like 13 years ago or something like that. Like this tells you everything.
Okay. And then Carl will glance back to Zukov and just kind of give a look that hopefully Zukov will understand as, how do you want to do this?
With a single glance, I believe Carr would already know what this means.
Alright then. So Carr will turn back to our... I want to call him a general, but I don't think that's... Just the other Dren clone and go, okay, here you go. And he'll just push the scientists right at them and start running for the nearest exit.
Alright. So you shove him forward. The Commodore just steps aside. The Night Stalker also steps aside, and he just goes flying onto the ground. You guys begin running towards the nearest exit, and you just hear the Commodore sigh. They never listen. Go after them! And then the robot and the Night Stalker begin to pursue you.
Wait, I have an idea.
Sure.
A way to distract them? Let this guy out.
Ooh, how are you going to do that with no weapon or tools? He's chained to the wall.
Fight force.
You can do a brute force thing, but it's going to be a difficulty 5. And there's going to be a complication if you get a complication.
Isn't there a button?
A button for chains? No.
Well, if there's a power... If there's anything that looks like a power source in this room, maybe we try and disable that, Lieutenant. Maybe that's what we need to go do.
So you see like...
Shut it down.
Yeah, you see like a miniature reactor that obviously like powers the booths that you guys were in. But most of the consoles and equipment and everything are probably powered from reactors that are well outside, away from this location. So unless you want to just destroy the booths, I mean, that's feasible too. Although, again, without a weapon, I don't know how you're going to do that. It's not like they have a big red button saying, push here to deactivate.
No, but every system has a input and output, like, power cable. As far as, like, I have a feeling that an engineer would at least be able to recognize some of that.
Not in the time it would take the Night Stalker to break your neck. I mean, you can, like, if you happen to see something and push it on your way out, that's fine, but just looking around and be like, that could do this
Go.
could do that. No, you'd
Go,
already be
go,
caught by then.
go. Yeah,
Alright.
I'm just grabbing the car and we're bolting.
Alright. Then yeah, we're running for it.
All right. And also, I will also say that this location that you're in, you don't recognize any of the technology. It all seems alien to you guys. But yeah, you bolt
I mean,
for
they
the.
did tell us we're on an infamous dreadnought, so.
No, yeah, but
I
they
feel like
the
it's-
infamous Allegiance steals technology. So sometimes, you might have like a guy with a Federation weapon with a Romulan tricorder or whatever. But this all seems alien. But yeah,
Gotcha.
you guys are running. They're behind you, and you guys get out to the corridor. Alright. So you guys brush past probably half a dozen Dren clones are just like doing menial labor, janitorial work and maintenance, and they're just looking up like, what the hell? And you just keep running, I guess. And obviously there are other species of, and some are scientists, some are medical, it looks like, some are just soldiers. The soldiers try to stop you, but you can easily just, there's so many corridors and hallways in this place that you just go down another corridor. However, you guys realize that you are gonna get lost very quickly. So what do you want to do? Are you there?
Yeah.
What do y'all want to do? We can jump
So
to
basically, every door that we've been running by is also closed.
I mean, there are some that are opening, but like it looks like crew quarters, or not really crew quarters, more like offices of like scientists. And like you see one that's like clearly like a broadcasting location where they broadcast the episode. Like, but you know that all the doors that are opening that you can see into, they don't lead to any kind of exit. They basically lead to, like, you'd be trapped in that room. The corridors that you do find are very wide. I would say about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet wide. Very long and straight. Very dark as well. A lot of people in them. Most of them don't seem to try to stop you. Some of them do, but they're kind of like, they're either being hindered by other people or they're chasing you and not able to catch up with you. But really you got to figure out like where you're trying to get to, because you're on a ship, so there's not very many options as far as like escaping.
Not even a possible shuttle bay?
I mean, yeah, but you have to figure out where it is on this ship, because you have no idea if you're on the bottom, in the back, in the front, in the middle. Like, you don't know anything at the moment. You just know there's a bunch of hallways and doors, so you got to figure out where you're going from here, or you're gonna get caught.
So there's no map, no nothing.
You don't see one. There's not one on the walls or anything. But if you want to do insight engineering, I can maybe give you a little bit more information just on your general knowledge of ships.
I have a question. Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
Car rolls well. If car rolls well, I'll ask.
Okay.
Please get a good one, car.
Okay. So just based on every once in a while you look through a door and you can see like beyond it there's a window. You think you're relatively close to like the side, one of the sides of the ship. You still don't know which direction is front or back, but you do know that you're towards the side. You could potentially find like an escape pod section, but you probably won't find an engineering or a shuttle bay or a cargo bay unless you keep running for a long time in one direction. You also know that you're on a dreadnought, which means it's probably really, really, really big. So running is gonna...
Question, is there vents?
Yeah, I mean, it's a normal ship, so yeah, it's got vents.
Car? You know what this means, right?
Get to explore some internal workings.
Typical engineer.
I do remember this one child childhood game at one point, something along the lines of Among Us.
But
Well, obviously you had a different childhood than me, but that's okay. For now, let's just get out of
We
sight.
could sneak into the ventilations and perhaps throw those things that are chasing after us off of our scent, because the large one isn't going to be able to fit through that. The Night Stalker, on the other hand, I'm unsure.
Yeah. I was gonna glance down at the scanner and go, this looks like it's mostly some sort of biological scanner. Do you think that this is something that we need to hold on to?
Just in case.
You guys hear a buzz, a loud buzz from above, and you hear the Commodore's voice say, "Attention, attention, all crew, but especially Zukov Clone 3 and Dakar Clone 7.
I completely disregard it, and I go into the shafts and drag Car in it, completely ignoring the message.
Do you think that they still think we're clones? Do they really think that we're the clones? Might be something we can. Well,
All you guys hear is muffled voices
he's probably just
outside
mumbling
of
that
the
as you
clo-
drag him
yeah.
along.
Like, you
Because
don't,
Zhukov does not want to listen to this bullshit. He's not going to deal with this bullshit anymore.
after a few moments of an announcement you don't hear, you do hear outside of the closet several people running to and fro. Now it looks like something has been stirred up, and now, yeah, you just hear a lot of people right outside the closet running around, shouting. You even hear someone shooting weapons for some reason. How long are you going to stay in the closet?
I didn't say closet, I said vents.
Oh, okay. How long are you going to stay in the vents?
Vents!
Well, we're probably gonna keep moving in the vents, I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah, duh.
So after 15, 20 minutes of you guys crawling in the vents, you guys come across like a panel, a small, like, I wouldn't say a console, but it's got like a display on it. And it's got like a smiley face, and it says, "Please come home."
That's what we're trying to do.
Did you just go past it?
Yeah.
Okay. After another 10, 15 minutes, you guys get to like a junction, probably like a Jeffries tube, where you can actually stand up before you get to the next vent shaft. And there's, besides the way you came, there are 3 like doors into other like vent shafts. From 2 of them, you can definitely hear people crawling around. One of them, probably a tech, because you just hear like welding on the other side. The other one is clearly 2 soldiers arguing about who gets to kill you when they find you. And then the third one, you don't hear anybody. I'm guessing you go through the third one? Or you can go through any of them, but it's up to you.
Welding or empty. Definitely not. If soldiers are arguing about killing us, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
Alright, so you go through the third one.
If it's quiet, there's a high likelihood that there's something that's waiting to ambush us.
So like Car starts down that one and Zukov grabs him back and goes, "No, we're not going that way." Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So you going
We'll
through
go for the
number 1?
welder.
Okay.
Yep.
So you open the door and you see a Ferengi busy at work, kind of using some kind of plasma torch on a conduit, and he turns and screams, "Ah, what are you doing? Who are you? Oh my god, you're not supposed to be in this section!"
Careful, you'll burn through that. You'll melt through the paneling.
Well, you do it then. He hands it to you. He's like, "I'm late for my lunch date," and he just hands you a laser torch and crawls away.
Car goes, "Okay." Sorry, just out of character. It's like, oh, it's like we just got handed something that could do damage. Anyway.
And just as you guys get that laser torch and he crawls away, and you guys are crawling, I assume, you hear the door open in the junction, and of course you hear the soldiers shouting.
Close the door.
Yeah,
now.
I'm assuming
Oh,
you guys
he,
closed the door
he, he
behind
yanks
you.
he yanks in quickly, just fucking use that torch to close seal the damn thing
Okay.
shut.
So you're welding the door shut. So they have definitely located which door you're behind, but they're not able to open it. However, further down the Jeffrey's tube, where the Ferengi was crawling out of, you hear, "Oh yeah, they're back that way. Sure, I gotta go to lunch." And then you hear a lot of heavy crawling as soldiers begin moving towards you again in the opposite direction.
I'm assuming Car's still welding the door, unless Zukov's like, we gotta keep moving.
We gotta keep moving. Yeah, I am on a speed run right now. I am going to yank. I'm just dragging poor Car everywhere.
Poor Car. No, we're both stuck in the same place. We both need to get out of here.
Yeah.
You're doing him a favor.
All right, I'm gonna jump to the Legion after I disconnect real quick and reconnect.
The plasma torch for like a wide burst kind of setting. Just anything to work as a weapon.
All right, so let me. Why isn't the? All right, so you guys are, well, I might as well just take you to the map again. You guys are roughly there-ish. On what's that one? H10, towing the dreadnought back. By the way, Zed, what are you doing on the ship? I know you have a general idea of how that console works, but are you doing anything specific, or are you just, making sure nobody comes back? Or
He's gonna press a button. I'll get it because I'm not on the screen right now.
which button?
I'll go. He's gonna press that one.
Hold on, I've got to go there too. Okay, which one?
I don't want to say it out
Yeah,
loud.
I know. Which one?
That one.
Oh, okay.
That one.
So you see on the display, it says error. Soul transceiver connectivity relay undetected.
Okay.
So,
Detected. Can I shift you are? Can I
Okay.
do that one?
So basically, now you're able to move the buttons around, but other than that, it doesn't let you really do it. You're also able to, on the display, the English alphabet pops up, but other than that, nothing else comes on.
He's gonna press that transceive that.
Okay. Was the Soul transceiver activated or deactivated last time? I don't remember. I think it was activated, right? Or was it deactivated? I thought it was activated because I thought it was glowing when you walked in the room. Do you remember?
Yeah. I think it was active
Okay, then.
because we're able to pick it up in the
Okay.
sensor.
When you push that, then it deactivates. It just like the glow diminishes. It's still slightly glowing, but it's not on effectively. Basically, it's just kind of in standby mode essentially. Where have you heard that before?
He's gonna reactivate it to
Alright.
see if it connects again.
The soul transceiver activates, and nothing else happens.
He tries to connect again.
It says the same thing. Relay not detected.
Okay, weird.
Anything else?
Nothing right now.
Okay. So, back on the Legion, you guys are about halfway to G7. Base G7. Um, is there anything that you guys want to do on the way back?
Not massively. Like if there was off-duty moments, I can think of one or two correspondents
Sure.
that Osprey might send. But we're towing an incredibly high-value item whilst potentially being stalked by a ship. Maybe it hasn't turned after us, but nonetheless, he's not leaving the bridge. He's not going off-duty
Okay.
till this is done.
All right. So, and I'm just gonna say if Neelan decides to scan, and he doesn't detect anything new. So yeah, everything so far, that's the key word, so far, seems perfectly fine and hunky-dory and all those good things. Back on the Hunter's Edge. You're like 5 minutes away from the wormhole. Funnily enough, when you get there, Q Jr. looks over and says, Mr. Huru, Captain Huru, I don't know what to call you, but according to these scans, the satellite has been modified somehow, sir, but it doesn't tell us anything else. It just says it's been modified. I can't tell with these damn ancient Herodian tools, or not tools, scanners, how it's been modified. It's just definitely got some fingerprints here, sir.
I see. Storm. Suggestions? Mac?
I don't know.
Dren 601 looks over to Storm. Is like, do you never stop eating?
Never.
Aren't you half Tholian? How do you even eat our food?
Easy. I'm half you. Remember, brother?
Whatever. If you say so, brother. But,
Helm. Hailing frequencies open.
the Q Jr. looks confused, but he opens hailing frequencies. Broadband hailing frequencies open, sir.
To any dreadnought within this vicinity, please report to the wormhole. There is something wrong. I do not trust it. I am backing off for now. Orders will be received. Thank you.
Less than 5 seconds after you send that, you get a message from the dreadnought Vlad the Impaler that says, "This is Psycho Dren." What was this? Hold on, I gotta look for his actual number. Hopefully maybe I didn't. I'll just make something up. 77. What is your purpose by the wormhole?
To return back to the infamous.
We have detected fluctuations in subspace that seems to indicate a vessel has come this way, but we cannot identify it. Federation space is not too far. We suppose it is them, but we cannot do anything about it. Could also be the Romulans or the Klingons. We are going through the wormhole first. Stay out here and guard it. Is that understood?
Understood. Any other orders, sir?
Yes. Kill any Federation ship you see. Psychodrin 77 out. Blip. And probably like 10-15 minutes later, 2 dreadnoughts, both like 10 times your size, appear out of warp. And one of them, presumably the one that just communicated with you, goes in first, disappears. That's the TID Vlad the Impaler. And then TID Bell Gunnis comes in and just stops for a second and then hails you.
Captain Huru.
This is Dren Captain 701. Pardon my psycho friend back there. He's got a flair for the dramatic. Thank you for your service here in guarding this wormhole, but to be completely honest, whatever ship decided to investigate is probably going to come back with like 20 more and destroy you. But you know, if you what is your mission over here, by the way? Usually we don't have Herosian frigates out here in the Shackleton.
My mission was from the infamous himself, and I negate to answer.
Oh, really? Well, did he give you a secret, super secret service secret code for that mission? Because if not, then you're definitely not on a real mission from the infamous. Sorry. Make an insight command check.
Okay.
Difficulty 1. Anybody?
All right.
Hey. Yeah. Inside, security.
Nope. This is command. This is definitely a military command issue.
Yeah, I
He's
got
gonna
two
see if there's a threat.
You know.
Okay, he's definitely seeing that. He's analyzing the situation as a threat.
Well, there's no physical threat, so I'll go ahead and tell you that for free. He's just
Okay.
trying to get some information. So what did you get, Huru?
2 successes.
All right, so you guys, the infamous faction gets 1 momentum. Yeah, he's bullshitting you. There's no such thing as a super secret service secret mission code. He is just trying to see if you know that, because if you don't, he is probably gonna report you back to the infamous.
You, sir, are full of shit.
Sorry, that was funny. He laughs like that though. We'll say he laughs like that. He says, "Okay, I was just messing with you. We have to make sure, you know, because I mean, you could just be pirates for all we know. But yeah, just don't, you know, just don't go through the wormhole unless you absolutely have a mission from the infamous. Because you know, with our fleet on the other side, you know, you might run into a little bit of trouble. But yeah, I'm gonna head that way now and rejoin with the Armada. So you have fun out here guarding literally nothing, and then he just flies into the wormhole and disappears. And then on your display, well, actually on Q's display, you see Space Venture Legion, new episodes coming next week, and then it goes to like some random commercial.
What was that? What was that, Q?
Oh, nothing. He turns it off.
What is it?
It was Galaga. That's all it was.
He runs over. Turn it back on. I want to know what this is.
It's just the infamous. It's just TIAB, the infamous Allegiance Broadcasting, and he turns it back on, and it's like a commercial for like how to torture your victims better or something like that. He's like, you could use a knife, or you could use this heart scooper outer, free with a book about the infamous himself for $9.99.
What the heck?
What, you didn't know about
Why
this?
haven't I heard of these? No.
I mean, it used to be just for security and command levels, but they let everybody watch it now, which is weird because you'd think the Federation would like spy on it and, you know, find stuff out about us, but they either don't know or don't care or are too terrified to watch live torture on TV. But you know, whatever.
Where's this ship now?
What, the Legion?
No, the broadcasting. Oh,
Yeah, they usually broadcast it from the wormhole. I mean,
really?
that's what I hear. I'm just a lowly Q. He looks over to Dren 601, glaring at him since he has the medallion that keeps him in check. He's like, I mean, I'm just a lowly pilot.
He goes, "Who? We totally should find out where this ship's broadcasting."
Sure. By the way, I noticed that there's a voice missing from this crew. Is Omega on the bridge, or what's Omega up to, if anything?
Honestly, I was trying to look for his character sheet, to be honest.
He
I
didn't
mean,
bring it over.
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you can
I
if you
was
want.
kind of AFK. I was kind of AFK a little because I kind of
Oh,
need
yeah.
to go water some plants. So I'll be right back. Just
Okay.
DM me when it's, ping me when it's me and
Okay.
well, you know what? Just DM me when I'm needed because I kind of need to take care of some stuff outside.
All right. So yeah,
I might.
you guys keep talking about TV, broadcasted from the infamous Allegiance wormhole there. Anything else before we jump back to the others, Mac or Tolly?
He goes, "What is this Legion ship? What is it? What is so special about it?"
I mean, Q says, I mean, nothing. It's just a Federation ship as far as I know, but sometimes they get the DNA of various crew members of that ship and then put them in. Again, this is just rumor, speculation, hearsay, but they put them in like a VR simulation and then kind of let them act out their lives, and basically, they broadcast it. And they did it with the Sutherland, they did it with the Intrepid, they did it with like a lot of ships. The Legion's just one of them. It's entertaining.
Okay.
Last episode, the Legion created like a bunch of Borg ships. It was crazy. I don't know how they did that. Or why.
Weird.
Yeah. I think it was like episode 11.
I don't know. I feel like we should actually find this vessel ship and find out what new things they're gonna create.
I'm pretty sure that dreadnought captain, who definitely outranks our captain, told us to guard the wormhole, since that's where our fleet is located.
Excuse me, we have a mission on from the infamous himself to look for his son. So technically, we have every right to go through the wormhole, and isn't that right?
He looks over. He looks to Huru. So everyone's looking to the captain to figure out like what he wants to do.
We
will
have to
obey
technically look.
Only the infamous. He gave us direct orders, and we will follow
to
them.
look for his son.
Aye,
So
aye.
if we so happen to find this other ship, what's tempting us not to investigate it a bit more?
As you wish. You both outrank me, and I am just, like I said before, a lowly pilot. And he says, setting course for the wormhole. Tap, tappity, tap, tap. And the frigate begins to head into the wormhole. The wormhole opens. Spectacular flash of greenish and turquoise energy. You enter. But he does look back and say, don't forget, though, that sensor relay or that sensor satellite that was guarding the wormhole, that's definitely something that we probably should let somebody know about. It was tampered with. But yeah, as you enter, you do see probably like, first of all, debris everywhere. For some unknown reason, a bunch of ships exploded in this massive wormhole. You're not sure why, you're not sure how. You hear rumors about the Egregoi being pissed off and destroying like a fourth of the armada or something like that, but you don't know really exactly anything. And so but you do still see like a couple dozen dreadnoughts just sitting inside the wormhole facing the Shackleton. All weapons directed at the Shackleton opening. But once they see you're a Herosian frigate with 5 individuals, they just ignore you as you pass. Nobody in their right mind would try to come in here and get past them if they weren't members of the infamous legions. At least that's how they see it. So they don't even acknowledge you or hail you or anything as you guys fly past them. You do also see this vessel, if I can find it. The TID prime time. Your sensors tell you, as well as your eyes, if you look out a window, I believe it is a scale 2 or 3. Yeah, it's a scale 2 ship. It's about the size of a runabout, maybe a little bit bigger. However, Q, kind of does something to amplify your sensors a bit, and he shakes his head. He's like, "It's the biggest ship in here. It's just, I don't know, somehow messes with space and contorts it in on itself, so it makes it look like it's smaller. Some weird stuff. I don't know. It looks harmless, but it's pretty much the biggest and baddest ship in here. Weird, but whatever.
Interesting. Hail the ship.
Of course. Um, it's funny because usually when you hail a dreadnought, they answer immediately. This one does not. It's almost as if they have bigger things to worry about. You're hailing the ship. Probably 2 minutes later, you get some random Klingon. He says, "What do you want? We're busy dealing with these two Federation Patak."
I see. Would you like assistance? This is Captain Huru.
Ah,
I slide over to him.
I've heard about you. You helped the infamous himself, and well, I don't mean to sound like a simpleton, but you guys are pretty big news around here. They're thinking of doing a show about you.
You see Dren poke his head into frame. Hey, you say Federation?
Yeah, a couple
People?
clones escaped. I don't know where they think they're gonna go. They're literally just running around on the ship. I mean, the ship the size
Can I
of a
go
space
hunt them?
station. I mean, you guys can hunt them if you want. I don't see any problem with it.
Oh, Commodore
Commodore could use some help. Our internal scanners aren't as
have
good
you-
as you guys', more than likely.
he goes, you want to ask him about that dude we're looking for?
Yes, we will.
Hey, we want to speak to you, Commodore, when we get over there.
I mean, sure, he probably won't mind at all. He's only busy chasing a couple fugitives, but I'm sure he'll make time for a couple of hunters.
Yeah, it's kind of important, the one we're doing, but we'll help you with the Federation one.
What are you hunting for?
It's coming from the infamous himself, so it's kind of important we hunt this specific person.
Does this specific person have a name?
We are not at liberty to tell you.
Haha.
However-
Answer.
We will beam aboard your vessel. Send us coordinates.
Yes, docking bay 304 should be available. It's just down there to the starboard. You can't miss it. It's already open.
Yeah, hunting a Federation scum.
Yes, of course. And
For
you
the
guys-
hunt. In transmission.
All right. So you guys head for docking bay 304 on the in the Shackleton, or in the wormhole of the prime time. And speaking of the prime time, let's jump back to two individuals basically trapped in a Jeffries tube. Is Nostra back yet?
Is she?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Just in time.
So, you guys have finished welding the door shut, so nobody's coming in or out that door that you guys are near. On the other end of the Jeffries tube, or the ventilation shaft, is another door. Hasn't been opened yet, but it looks like somebody's working on getting it open. To your right, maybe 10 feet down, probably halfway, we'll say it's a shaft of about 20 feet. About 10 feet down, you see to the right is another Jeffries tube door that you can go to. However, this is going to be a fitness con roll to try to actually get to it before they open the doors and open fire. And it's difficulty 2. Wow. Alright. Just waiting on car. Oh, wow. Oof. Tell you what.
By the power of my vibe check, I am grabbing Car regardless.
I was gonna say, if you guys want to spend one momentum, I'll say that you just grab Car and pull him in.
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum.
All right. So you guys
I mean,
get to
technically, I'll get like two momentum
yeah
anyways.
yeah you guys get
So
momentum. So yeah, you get in there. You see like disruptor fire hit the door as you close it behind you, and you come into another like ventilation shaft. You're crawling through it. Probably 10 feet later, you get to another one that leads into a the door opens. It leads into a room. Doesn't seem to be anybody in there. However, you see like a bunch of screens all over the freaking walls. This room is probably the size of a dining restaurant, like the dining room part of a restaurant. Like it's good, it's decent sized. It's not like engineering room level of large, but it's decent sized. Probably about the size of the a little bit bigger than a bridge of a ship. And you just see screens everywhere, and on every single screen is a different Starfleet, Klingon, Romulan, Dominion, even the infamous ship, or like on some places there's a planet. They're on a planet or maybe a starbase. And one probably I would say one of them you definitely see the Legion bridge. You see like an idealized version of Captain Osprey, like raising his fist to a Klingon Borg ship as he's like just shouting, "All weapons fire! We'll find Kar and Zukov later." Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
We're busting this fucking broadcasting thing.
So you want to figure out how to turn it all off or destroy it or something?
Probably faster to destroy it. Assuming
hold
that
on.
car didn't lose grip of that welder.
Yeah,
during the...
you could probably just shoot the plasma at the screens or.
Wait, I have a...
Yep. Go ahead.
No, never mind. Because I had the shitpost idea, but that's probably just thinking in my own shitposty mind.
Alright.
I thought I had the idea of replacing the entire broadcast with a Rickroll.
Okay.
Out of character, I know what the in-character car has no clue. But
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that would be funny. But as you guys are like deciding to take the torches to the various monitors or whatever, on the face of or on the monitor on many of the monitors, the Commodore's face appears and he says, "You're just trying to get away from me. I'm not gonna let that happen. We're going to find you by
Middle finger.
God. I can't see you, but I'm pretty sure you're flipping me the bird. I'm definitely going to find you. Our internal
British
sensors,
middle finger. Chinese middle finger. Russian middle finger.
our internal sensors
was
are
like, what are you doing?
narrowing down to several decks and sections of the ship. Sometimes I wish the ship wasn't so big, but we will definitely find you. Yeah. Where's my security chief?" And then it goes blank.
God, I do believe this Commodore is overcompensating for something.
We were getting close to something they don't want us to find.
And whatever it is nearby us. We're going to find it. As soon as we blow this shit up.
Are you sure that's not what they need? Is what they're wanting to hide from us?
Megan?
Are you sure that this here, and he gestures to everything around, is not what they're wanting to hide?
I do believe there's something more, but for extra measure, destroy it. Whatever
Alright.
it is, most likely it might be used for propaganda purposes. You get rid of the propaganda, well, you know what would happen if an entire sovereign loses their capacity for propaganda. Well, an arm of propaganda, that is.
So you guys hear it might be familiar to one of you, a sound of time reversal, and you hear or you see the ending of the conversation, or not the conversation, the image of the man, the Commodore on the screen. He's like, "Damn it, where's my security officer?" And then it goes down. And then as soon as that happens, The door behind you begins to slowly be pulled open. When you look, you see Night Stalker is there, crawling out of the shaft. What do you want to do? Uh-oh,
You know what?
someone vanished.
Does Car remember this kind of stuff? I remember it. I just don't know if Car would.
I mean, I think here, the noise definitely, because it was in his head for like ever after that event. But I don't know about I don't know if he ever saw the Night Stalker. I know he definitely heard the time manipulation effect.
I know that noise. Well, I think that presumably the car will not have been interrupted from putting a torch on the broadcasting equipment.
Yeah, no, you're still
Or at
doing
least
that. You're still doing that. But what do you want to do?
And if it's trying, if that thing's trying to pry it open,
It's not. I mean, it's doing it relatively easily. These doors are designed to be like very hard to open because of stability for the ship and everything. He's basically just opening it like it's kind of stuck a little bit, like, like a little bit here, a little bit there, but within seconds he's gonna have it open.
I'm going to interrupt and actually turn that thing around and point blank blowtorch its face.
Okay then. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna need a roll for that because like it's right there. Like it's not like
It's
he can.
point blank.
Yeah, I don't think. So just just roll. Whichever one of you wants to roll 6 damage dice or 6 challenge dice, and we'll see how much damage that you do.
I'll roll.
Okay.
Because I'm the one doing it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say it's vicious, so 6, 7 damage. You see his faceplate melt off, and behind that faceplate, you see muscle and bone, no skin. But you also see like a little bit of electronics throughout, almost like Borg implants. And one of his eyes is like a normal, like human eye, like green or something. The other one is definitely a like mechanical cybernetic eye. And he just looks at you, and as like you're melting his face off, basically. And he doesn't make any noise, but you do smell the burning flesh and the burning metal. And he kind of stops halfway opening it as he just glares at you. What do you want to do now?
A major death glare back and let's see here. Give me a second.
I mean, I have an idea of Car making a scan, but I don't think that that's actually what he would do. Not in that moment.
Check your DMs, Creeble.
I see.
Well,
I think it's a bigger threat at this point, as far as Car's concerned.
one good death glare back. And I'm gonna turn that fucking welding tool into napalm by fucking burning that shit alive.
All right, so you're just sticking it back in his face.
Yep.
All right. Since he has not actually acted, I'm gonna have him try to grab it because last time, it was kind of surprising. This time he's kind of prepared for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll control and security. I'm gonna have him roll daring and security, and let's see if he grabs it from you.
Applied force.
Oh my god, he got 4 successes. So try to get more than 4 successes.
Well, gotta bust in a determination, a momentum. Determination is basically, I don't care about my mental or physical health, so long as my crew's safe, and since Car's over there, that thing's gonna probably kill Car too.
That'll work.
I'm not taking any chances.
That will work. I will also say, no, go ahead. I'll let you finish rolling. Oh, wow. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 to 4. So
Paying the complication.
okay. You basically get it in his face again. He reaches up to grab but what ends up happening is instead of him grabbing the plasma torch, he actually accidentally puts his hand like where the laser goes, and it basically just burns through his like hand. You can smell a mixture of flesh and synthetic like what's the word I'm looking for? Like whatever Data has, that synthetic skin kind of thing. However, now he is going to roll presence, security, and attempt a telepathic projection on you. So you get like dizzy a little bit, and you're kind of like almost like you're being your brain kind of goes for a second away from where you are now and kind of like in almost like you're experiencing one of his memories of being tortured and basically being forced to wear the implants for like a brief second, then you're back to normal. But that's all he gets with one success. Car, I believe it's your turn.
Okay, so yeah, what do we do now? R will glance between the monitors and the I don't know, this disintegrating cybernetic being, I suppose. Just you think we got it? You think we have it, sir?
Almost.
Yeah, he's definitely still alive, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Oh, my mate just.
For now, anyway.
Actually,
yeah.
you know what Car will do right now? I take it back. Car's going to, well, if it seems like it's a little bit calmer, Car is going to going to use that scanner that apparently he's still held on to.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just take a scan.
Okay, roll
What is this thing anyway?
reason medicine, but also while you're doing that, I forgot to have Nostra go ahead and roll the damage, 6 damage dice again. I forgot to do that, sorry. He's still going to be injured, but yeah, basically it tells you Dread Clone.
It while I was running.
Yeah, it just says
It's,
Dread Clone.
it's not rolling for some reason. God damn it! Fucking...
It's just froze.
Oh wait, never mind. Oh wait. Yeah. First one. The first one's the
2,
actual.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wow. Since I do actually have a filled out, fleshed out character sheet for him, I believe.
That's a fat injury.
Yeah, he has 1 health left.
Ooh.
So yeah, basically his entire, like, his eyes melt, his teeth fall out, like everything, all of the electronic implants just kind of melt away. His flesh is his blood is cauterized, his muscles and flesh gone. Basically now you're just looking at a white skull and a brain behind it, but he's still alive.
I put it out of its misery.
All right. Then we'll just say, you don't have to roll for this. We'll just say one more blast of plasma and he is dead.
Just a single.
Yeah, right in the brain. He goes down. The last little bits of cybernetic implants in his brain ticking a bit before they die, and yeah, he is dead. And
Alright. Here you go. Here's the welding torch.
all right. So you guys turn and destroy the monitors?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Back to... Is there anything...
Oh, and I also forgot, yes, Omega's there. Sorry, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Is there anything that Osprey and Neelan want to do on the way back? Well, we're going to say that you guys are approaching G7 right now. So probably in game, it's probably only like 15-20 minutes till you get into the system. Out of game, probably either at the end of this turn or at the end of or at the beginning of next turn, you'll be there. But is there anything that you guys want to do before you actually go into the system?
We could probably hail Starfleet now.
Are we, far enough away from anything that according to sensors, that is a safe thing to do?
Yeah, you're not detecting any ships near the wormhole. They've all gone into the wormhole, so yeah.
All right. In that case, before Osprey does anything personal, he'll hail Starfleet. It is very much the sort of captain to captain only
Right.
transmission, very secure, as secure as he can make it, and it'll be updating them about pretty much everything that just happened. So we've got a captured dreadnought in tow. That there is a device aboard it that has something to do with soul transfer. He knows that much. He doesn't know anything else. That we have located wormhole at coordinates XYZ. That the infamous fleet appears to be sitting in it. And here are the necessary quantum codes to destroy it. Orders, please.
They say stand by. Obviously, don't tell anybody about anything that you just told us. Just stay at G7. We will have the dreadnought taken from there momentarily to be adequately. I'm trying to think of the right word. Out of character. Adequately dealt with. They don't say if they're gonna just destroy it or if they're gonna, kind of experiment with it or research it or anything. They just say they're just gonna deal with it. And they basically say make sure all your stuff and all your people are off that ship before they do that. Is there anything Zed wants to do before?
He's gonna make sure to get all the crew off.
All the what? The what?
All the crew.
Okay. Yeah.
Crew.
We'll go ahead and say that, unless you guys specifically say you want to leave something or somebody there, that they can all be taken back to the Legion. Anything else?
No,
Frank, you were saying something.
no, there's nothing else.
Okay.
I'll go straight to the bridge.
Alright.
On the crew, and obviously we're ripping off as much technical data as we possibly can.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the theme of the crew, Osprey will also update Starfleet on the same secure channels of the brain shenanigans that have gone on. He doesn't know about primetime, but he does know that seemingly the minds of two of his crew have been swapped, and he thinks it has something to do with a small ship. Here is the data we got on it from near the wormhole. Again, orders please / permission to go and investigate. He is, however, aware that investigating this may trigger a not just interplanetary but interdimensional war. So Starfleet may have other concerns.
Yeah, they're still gonna say, basically pretend we don't know anything, because they don't really know what to do with all that information right now, so they're just kind of gonna sleep on it and see what happens and kind of do some minor, subtle investigations. And then, but I will say, because you're a trained security officer, you're a trained captain, you get the impression that Starfleet Command is no longer seeking diplomatic options with the infamous allegiance, and they are moving to a kind of preemptive strike situation.
Oh god, it's time to go buccaneering. Okay, alright. Okay, I'll note that. Osprey's going to end up in front of whatever the Federation's version of The Hague is for what he might be about to do. As a purely personal side note, he'll also send correspondence to Dr. Perry. It's nothing classified, nothing super secret, nothing in there. It's just about here are declassified, interesting scientific things we have discovered. After a certain amount of time, how are you? How have things been going, etc. No mention at all of the super serious shit that he's involved in. Just a nice personal message, and then got to go back to work and potentially kill billions of people. Okay.
Yeah, and when I say you get the impression, like they don't say anything. They basically say, um, it's yeah, it's hard for me to. It's nothing that you can really
Do what
act
you
on.
feel you need to do, Captain.
Not
The
real.
sort
It's
of
not even that. It's more like I said before. They say wait at G7 for orders and everything like that. But they don't feel that diplomacy is very hopeful anymore. Like at first they were like before they were like, there are some Drin clones and even the Infamous himself that can have a conversation, like a rational conversation. But when you give them the information about like the wormhole and the brain swapping and the dreadnought that you captured, like now they're like, yeah, okay, new plan. But they don't specifically say what they're going to do. They just say, they tell you all the platitudes and everything like that. You just get the impression, like you get the feeling, the vibe that like they're going to start going into a more preventive, like kind of like in DS9 when they tried to mine the wormhole, something along those lines.
I have a horrible, horrible plan, and I'm going to enact it. Which is, since all the three major ships are now gathered around the station, pretty much, Osprey, we have no reason to suspect that the Klingon captain is disloyal. The Romulan captains, or admiral, has been putting in a good show. I might do an insight security check just for one final. Are you on the level?
Right.
But if they pan out with yeah, you're on the level, it'll be a case of okay, so stuff might be about to go south, and your stealth ships. Here are three very separate vectors of approach to the wormhole on staggered times, and we've all got the wormhole killing torpedoes. We'll go at different times. One of us might get through. And there'll be go codes, stop codes, etc. Contingencies for if nothing happens in 12 hours, do X. There'll be chit chat getting that ready, but it's very much here's our plan if that's the way Starfleet decides to go.
Yeah, for the sake of like simplicity, but all and all that, but also let's just say you guys have 3 momentum. Spend 2 momentum, and I'll tell you for sure if General Shimuk and Admiral Sakima are like loyal, or if they're just putting on a really good face. If that's
I
what
would
you guys
recommend that, considering it could be the end of us.
Okay, so yes, they're not going to like put their entire empires on the line for like your ship or anything like that. They're not even going to do that for the Federation as a whole. But they are genuine patriots of their specific, nationalities, whatever you want to call it. Like General Shimuk, his empire was destroyed practically by the Breen War, the Pact War. He wants to build it back up, and the infamous being here prevents him from doing that. Admiral Sakima was Tal Shiar, but unlike, I'll actually give you this. In her past, she has done horrible things. However, once she got to like the rank of captain or something to that equivalent, she definitely took a different turn, and she has been more pro, Republic, pro, for the people rather than subjugate her own people for the sake of the government kind of thing. It looks like she did the horrible things to get to a position where she is, so that she can make the appropriate changes. So yeah, you think that they're both like, you probably couldn't have gotten 2 better officers from their appropriate cultures.
Fantastic. In that case, yeah, Osprey will fully share with them if war is inevitable, here is our destroy the wormhole plan for a first strike, and here are the backups with your stealth ships, and also prepare for war. Like Osprey doesn't want this to happen. If he thinks he can end this diplomatically, he might. But if Starfleet is going effectively prepare for war, he knows he has to. And if they're preparing for a first strike, he knows he's the one who's going to have to deliver it.
Okay. So next session, Huru, Omega, and Storm will be hunting the Kar and Zukov clones. Which is going to be interesting because Omega's going to be Nostra's going to be hunting himself, essentially.
If
I'm gonna make this
Carl,
entertaining for myself.
if you want to come over to our session next week, then welcome to, because you'll be playing Carl.
Well, actually, hold on. Let me look at the schedule because I have it planned so that nobody has to go to other games. But
Okay.
yeah, that is a possibility. I just gotta check. Where is it? March. All right. So what's today? The 28th. All right. So the next game would be Starfleet Academy. So that no worry there. And then Starfleet Academy again. The week after that, and then the Infamous Chronicles, and then the Infamous Players right after that. So the last.
What is the Purifiers?
That's a sci-fi bounty hunter. It's not Star Trek, but it's like kind of like Firefly or Killjoys or Farscape. One of those like renegade groups of bounty hunters, space bounty hunters that go around doing bounty hunter stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone's free to join that if they want. But yeah, basically that's what's gonna happen next session. Also, we can have an Osprey, because I know you Osprey. You said that's what you want to do as far as like the plan goes for the wormhole. However, things may change based on events and new information and all that stuff. But so we'll probably have like an Osprey / Admiralty meeting. I think at the very least, the Admiral from Narendra Station is going to meet you on G7 for this meeting to determine exactly what's going to happen. Also, both General Shamuk and Admiral Sakima are both also flag officers as well, so that works out.
That all makes sense. Osprey is aware of the limits of his authority. He feels, and this isn't the best comparator, but he feels a bit like a U.S. naval captain during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yes.
He knows he could make the world end, but he also knows it's not his job.
You forgot one other possible naval individual: a Soviet submarine officer. Cough, cough.
On a radio.